Hi, Katie. So I'm not really good at explaining things over email, so I figured that this would probably be the best way to show you how I complete my monthly mileage reports. And actually, here recently, because I've been doing so much traveling, I've actually been doing bi-weekly travel reports. But I am going to go ahead and log my travel for now, and then this will give you and whoever else is in the office an idea of how I do it. So I just go into the Traveler Work Center and just like you would any other time, just create a new expense report. I hope you can see this. Kind of hard to get my iPad exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so I go here and choose day trip and start. And then in general date, or general data for the start date. For the start date, I just put the first day that I want to log the travel. So if I'm doing bi-weekly, then I'm going to start, even though it's not been 2 weeks, I'm going to go ahead and start at the 23rd of January. So if your first date of travel that you're trying to log is the 1st of January, then you would start there. But I'm going to start on the 23rd. And then here, the time that I left on my first day of travel was about 9 o'clock in the morning. So that was departure from my first workplace. The end date, so this is the last day of travel that I'm going to log. Like I said before, if you were logging the whole month of January, then you would do the 1st to the 31st, but I'm just doing this week and a half because I've done so much travel. So I'm going to choose my last date as the 31st. And arrival at first workplace, so this is where I put when I got back from my last travel trip. And that would have been at, let's see, it was 17:30 because it's military time. So that was my first date of travel, and that was my last date of travel. That was when I left on my first date of travel, and this is when I came back on my last day. So if you were doing the whole month, again, this would be January 1st, 2017, and then January 31st, 2017. So for country, obviously USA, region, and this is where I usually put the first place that I went. So the first place that I went was Logan County. And I believe that this, do KY, and then KY, and then it's Russellville. And then we're just going to search for that. And there it is. So that's the first place that I went to on the 23rd. So if you're doing the whole month of January, you would put the first place that you went on the first day of the month or whatever day it was that you started to travel in the month of January. And then specific destination. If it'll bring it up. Let's see. It's not in there. Okay, so this is where you're going to put your, whether you're doing bi-weekly or a monthly. So here, this is the last one I did. It was bi-weekly mileage report, January 17. And I'm going to go ahead and use that again because this is my second travel document for the month of January. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one in there. So if you're doing the whole month of January, this is where you would put monthly mileage report, January 17th. And that's where you would leave it. And I don't add any additional destinations here. It was all in-state travel. Purpose of trip, So a lot of mine are the same. Let's see if I can. Mine are other because they're not listed there. And most of my trips are the assessment and delivery of assistive technology. It's very rare that I have anything outside of that realm. And then here I just put delivered assistive. I can spell today. Okay. Now here I have to change my cost assignment, so I always have to delete this number and delete this number and put in, let's see, I could do this one. And there's nothing in there. And then there it is. Let's see. Cost center W. Sorry, I'm still new at trying to figure out my cost center values. So we'll accept that. And we'll change it. Okay, and so it's changed it over to the rehabilitation technology project, which is what I wanted. And so we'll accept that change. And we'll accept that. And there it is. So I've changed my cost assignment. So this is where the difference comes in with just logging one daily trip. I enter all of my trips and all of my mileage under enter mileage details. And this is going to be kind of lengthy, and I'm very sorry. You can fast forward through all this if you need to. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just go back later and enter them all in. But you're going to start on your first day of travel. So if you're doing a monthly mileage report, this is where you're going to put in that first date that you traveled in January. So you're going to go here to miles driven. And for me, I went to Logan County, and that is 34 miles away from me. So, let's see, 34. And my start location was Bowling Green. There it is. And my end location was Russellville. So I just delete what it had there before and put my destinations in. And so I accept a new entry. And then, so I've logged where I left Bowling Green, went to Russellville. Now I'm going to log where I came back. So I'm going to put another 34 miles back. And then here, this is where I left, once again. And then this is where I came back. Okay. And so we're just going to go ahead and accept that. So this is where, like I said before, you're going to log all of your trips. So you'll just keep doing that, changing the date, putting the miles, putting the place that you left from to where you went and then came back again. So for each trip that I take, I have usually, unless I go to multiple places, I have 2 different destinations for that day, when I left and when I came back. So for time purposes, we're just going to save this. Accept. And see, it's logged the 68 miles in there. But if you enter more, if you go back in, it'll show up. And we're going to change the date because my other one was on the 27th. I can change that to the 27th. And then here, the first trip that I went to was 67 miles. And that was from Bowling Green to Hodgenville, Kentucky. accept a new entry. And then the next place that I went to was actually Elizabethtown. So that was 17 miles, and that was in the same day. And that was Elizabethtown. And then I went to Louisville, actually. So, oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let's go back. This should be Hodgenville. Got carried away there. So that shows where I left Hodgenville. So I went to Bowling Green, then went to Hodgenville. Then I left Hodgenville, and then I went to Louisville. Okay, and now we're just going to save the draft again. But you can see how you can list all your trips in there. So we'll accept, and we'll save draft. Accept. Accept. Okay, then back here, see my mileage has changed because I added in another trip. It did not include any personal travel, so we'd enter receipts. Review. Okay, so I'm going to save and close this because obviously I'm not done entering everything that I need to enter. But if you were done entering on all your trips for the month of January, you would just hit save and send for approval, and then you're done. So I'm just going to save and close this. I really hope that that helps. If it doesn't, feel free to ask me any questions that you have. But I hope that helps. Have a great day. Bye.